I do have something fun for us.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, baby.
I do, and I promised it Friday.
Well, he sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. He's a sticky finger filter from Berlin down to Belize. He'll take you for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me where in the world is
Michael Strahan.
Now, as promised, we do have a video of him, more video of him, interviewing Prince Harry. But before, this is a little quick one. This is Skip Bayless this Sunday addressing the Skip Bayless tweet without, saying it. Here you go.
And you spoke about humanity. And I think, but there were things done here by someone here at this network that were inhumane.
Inhumane?
Are we in a world where we have to defend Skip Bayless to Michael Strahan? Because I don't like that position that I'm in right now.
I don't like this either.
That makes you feel uncomfortable.
Sir, I think you're using the word... Because Michael Strahan, obviously not a Rhodes Scholar. Not even a member of the Rhodes family, frankly. But
or the Road Warriors.
He does sound like he's from the Rhodes family.
He does, yeah.
With that list.
Oh, my God, he does.
But
hot times, baby.
Sir, I think when you said inhumane, I think you meant to say, I'll give you insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I would say anyone saying what Skip Bayless said was insensitive.
Fair enough.
That's a fair assessment. You're being level-headed, but inhumane, you're making it sound like Skip Bayless is murdering interns.
Mm-hmm.
Is he murdering interns?
He's not Joe Scarborough.
Sit here and we talk about how good, and I'm sorry to take it this way, but this route, but I just felt like sensible people and sensible human beings have a heart. And they understand.
Oh, not if they took the vax.
Yeah, and not when they have like fucking 20 grand on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that your words and what you say really have an impact. Not only.
Dude, if I had like a couple grand on that game, I probably would have been tweeting like, let's go, come on.
Yeah.
You got fucking, can you make fucking 11 players show up on the field, please? Let's go, come on.
Family. And so all the attention should be on this young man, his recovery. For sensible people like us here to say that it didn't affect anybody at this network, nobody at this network minded, that's a lie. Obviously didn't talk to us.
Yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying, Michael, and I actually do like you, bud, but here's the thing. How come all the people that were screaming about getting the vaccine, how come you weren't on their side? How come you weren't standing up for Beasley remember Beasley from the Bills who wouldn't take the vax? And then how come you don't worry about him? How come you worry about Aaron Rodgers, about these people that were fucking blacklisted for not taking the... See, that's the point, though. At least be consistent, all right?
Because it matters to us, and it matters to any sensible human being that this young man's life was bigger than any football game. This young man will hopefully be back and forget about football, but just have a life. Yeah. And his family has him. That's the most important thing. And I think that was kind of lost.
Man. Well, let's say that this heart problem that, fuck you. We know what happened. We know where it came from.
Anybody that says different, listen, I think the vaccine caused this man to have a heart attack. I don't care what microscopic thing you got to say, and I'm allowed to think that. So suck my dick if you don't like it. How's that?
And I don't like the fact that you're going to turn him into some kind of little survivor propaganda guy, and he's going to be just some sort of media influencer now. Yeah, okay, fine. You won the game of life, but you guys still took the one gift he had from him at the beginning of his career, right? Like, that's a fucked up thing. Like, I know we all shit on athletes, like, oh, they get millions of dollars to chase a ball around, right? But we still enjoy watching a young player, like, succeed. And you're like, oh, man, this kid, you know what I mean? You want to, I root for people on my team. Like, you want to see some people do good. And when you take, like, the one thing a guy worked his whole life for away from him at 24, even if he gets to live, you're going to sell it like, oh, what a miraculous thing. He's alive and he gets to live life and not worry about football. The problem is football's all he has.
And that's what makes him
happy. You
happy.
just fucked him out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well...
And now to more of my one-on-one conversation with Prince Harry ahead of his new memoir.
He really is. I mean, you got to say, and he's funny, but he really is like the propaganda guy they shut out there for all these things, huh? Like even now with the Prince Harry thing, spare. But before we get into the Michael Strahan thing, we talked about this Friday, but I got to reiterate, he's the spare prince, man. It must have been so hard to be in a royal family with millions of dollars.
Yeah, Prince Charles wasn't your dad. What do you want?
That's
You're
right.
lucky you got to live in the house, Jon Snow.
I was going to
This
say
little
the same
fucking
thing.
Jon Snow motherfucker, and now you're like, they even gave you the last name, and you got to drive around in your fucking
He
private
is
cars
Jon
and
Snow, and he simped out to a bitch just like Jon Snow
Yeah,
did.
he's Jon
Holy
Snow.
fuck, he's Jon Snow.
And the end of his story just sucks. It's just disappointing.
Yeah, and he's with Merkel, which basically means, to those, they call them wildlings, so he banged the wildling. That makes sense.
He's just like Jon Snow. Think about it, right? He started off promising with the Nazi outfits and the bad fucking behavior, and you're like, oh, this guy's kind of a badass. And now he's a complete faggot, and his story just petered out.
Yeah, instead of doing like some cool Game of Thrones shit where you throw a red wedding to kill instead you just cry on fucking Good Morning America. Ah, that
Pussy.
fucking cuck.
Memoir Spare. He opened up to me about his mental health struggles, how he didn't cry for a decade after losing his mother, Princess Diana, and the moment he truly accepted her death, and how he still feels her presence today. Take a look. It's the image seared into so many minds. 12-year-old Prince Harry and 15-year-old Prince William, heads bowed, walking behind a horse-drawn carriage holding their mother's coffin. You said you didn't cry for years.
I didn't. The first time I cried was
Because I don't actually have any feelings. And I look like I should be. Who's the fucking the ginger singer? The Ed Sheeran. He looks like Ed Sheeran. Fuck out of here.
At the burial.
But
And
then after that,
for
years.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's because I'm a diagnosed psychopath.
Makes sense.
You know this.
Wasn't through lack of trying.
You just
I tried.
Yeah.
Believe me, I tried. But there was nothing there. It was I was numb.
In his new memoir, Spare, Harry's describing the morning of August 31st, 1997, when his father, now King Charles, delivered the devastating news that Princess Diana
Was murdered by the Queen. I'm sorry.
What?
Was killed by the paparazzis
Yeah.
chasing her.
In a car accident.
In a tunnel that nobody has ever died in
Mysteriously.
before or since.
Yeah, with some mysterious Saudi billionaire.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That was
Right.
had been killed in a Paris car crash.
As a dad, I would never ever
Let my kid go through a tunnel ever again. What?
want to have to break that news ever. So I have a huge amount of sympathy and compassion and understanding now about how ill-equipped, I guess.
Right, but you've been going around and shitting on your dad on local news because you and your brother had a scuffle because you two brothers fought like brothers do all the time.
Yeah. And also, this is all just like fucking Jerry Springer drama to sell a book. You don't really want to take your family down. Because if so, let's get into your uncle. Can we talk about Unc?
No.
Can we talk about Unky Andrew?
No.
Got any stories about him?
Didn't he say something about killing a bunch of Afghanis? Prince Harry, here, before we play because this is all connected, so Strahan, sit tight for a second. I don't even have anywhere to be.
There have been more stunning revelations overnight from Prince Harry's autobiography. It's due to be published next week and accompanied by several
Have you seen
TV
a full court
interviews.
press for a book like this in a long time? I mean,
I'm trying to think of the last one. Yes, I have, but it's been a while. Como's book. How I Did the Pandemic. That's when they still liked him. So yes, Como's book.
Yeah.
Harry's claims, I should say, are offering a devastating insight into the royal life.
We get into Andrew?
Charlie
even
Tagatter has
devastating?
more out from London.
Oh no, even funnier.
Among the many dropped bombs in Prince Harry's tell-all memoir, he reveals that he and Prince William begged his father, King Charles, not to marry Camilla, now Queen Consort, and how he spoke with his deceased mother, Diana, through a medium. His reportedly...
So wait, you
So you're a
begged your
crazy
dad
person.
not to marry his new wife while at the same time being mad that your parents didn't want you to marry your whore wife. You don't see the issue here?
ghost-written book, Spare, largely focuses on just that, being the spare...
Did he say the
The
ghost-written?
book.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, just straight up.
Hold on. Well, this is local news. They don't have the
What?
same. Yeah, because you know what? How many times have we seen this? Local news always lets more stuff slip because it
they
takes
fuck-
longer.
they fuck
It
up.
takes longer to get the propaganda. This is hilarious.
Through a medium. His reportedly
When asked
ghostwritten
why he used a ghostwriter, Prince Harry said, "Why would I use a pen? I'm not a Jewish girl in an attic."
That's fair. That's true.
a medium. His reportedly ghost-written book, Spare,
Yes, that's right. It was written by ghosts. It was written by the ghost of me mum.
That was
largely focuses on just that.
Hey, Harry, I got a question. Do any of these fuckers ever come out of your book and shoot a big cum shot on your mom? You just can't change the rules because you don't like how I'm doing it.
Hey, Harry, real quick. I haven't read your book yet, but at any point in the book, do any of these fuckers go like, "Oh shit, it's a big fucking fat horse cock, shouldn't come," or
being the spare heir to Prince William's birthright to the throne?
yeah, it's what the younger brother is. I mean,
how it
you're
goes.
look, the firstborn son is always the favorite, and the second son is always the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way she goes.
Detailing extraordinarily personal, at times painful.
Look, he's bald. Let him have the fucking prince. Let him be the main prince.
I mean, seriously.
For fuck's sake.
Accounts of growing up in the royal family and what eventually drove him and Meghan to leave it all behind.
Meghan.
Yeah, Meghan.
As discussed in this Sunday's 60 Minutes interview with Anderson Cooper.
What Meghan had to go through was similar in some part to what Kate.
Now, in what way? I'm Anderson Cooper, so as you know, I do not know how vaginas function.
I don't know how heteronormative relationships work. Have you seen the pictures of me with my mom? I mean, I've been fucked up for a long time.
Have you seen the tight jeans me and my husband wear? I don't think you want to go that route with me.
I mean, you can literally see the shape of my penis.
Mm-hmm.
I went through very different circumstances.
Question mark. Didn't know that.
But then you add in...
Maybe that's why he's so inquisitive.
It's a natural journalist.
Yeah.
The race element, which was what the British press jumped on straight away. I went into this incredibly naive. I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
So you're projecting...
You dressed as a Nazi! How dare you!
So you're projecting. You're projecting what the British press was saying onto your family. And then you believe the propaganda, and then your wife got pissed at the press she was getting, and then she started believing, and then you started just projecting all that onto your family.
Right. The mainstream media in England that's been pushing more migrants to live there, more people from Somalia to move there and stuff like that are really bigoted. You're right. That's them.
Hell, I was probably bigoted. Before the relationship with Meghan.
You think you were bigoted before the relationship with Meghan?
I was like Joan Mayer. My dick was like David Duke until her.
Yo, getting hard for black chicks doesn't mean you're not racist, okay? And that's coming from me.
It means you're horny and you've been through all the other races.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Put it this way, I didn't see what I now see.
What we
Look, I don't really like grits, but I'll try it.
We do see, among the detailed personal revelations, losing his virginity
to that horse. What? Huh?
You're like, wow, you're right. The local news is wild.
in a field behind a pub to an older woman.
Was it your mom?
His recreational drug use of cannabis and cocaine.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, he's a teenager. And...
one of the
Hey,
more
Virgie. Hey, Virgie, this guy did weed and coke.
Now, this is the whole point of this video that I'm playing, and I want you to hear the next sentence. You ready?
One of the more controversial statements in a book packed with them is the claim that he killed 25 Taliban members while serving in Afghanistan in 2012.
25. He's Rambo, bro. He wasn't on the front line. He was when these people, and people that have served, I'll talk about it, is whenever you have a high... What do they call them? A high priority target, which means someone that could be potentially kidnapped and extort like a government.
They're not.
They're never put in a position where that can happen.
They're not going to put a British prince on the front lines.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And also, I have never met somebody who had like their number of kills and told people that number out loud.
Thank you.
Who I've ever believed. Everyone I've ever known who have killed people.
Don't talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. As a matter of fact, and Mersh and I, between both of us, have a lot of friends, some of them mutual, that served in the military.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a rare exception who's just some guy who's a sick fuck.
Right. Like someone's like the comedian.
Yeah, exactly. Animal mother.
Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, most normal people that serve, if they've had to kill somebody, usually go, I don't really like talk. They don't like talking about it. It makes them uncomfortable, and it's not something they definitely don't brag about.
Somebody in the Rumble chat, Jaw411 said, 25 Afghan prisoners they lined up for him.
You're right.
Serving in
I had
Afghanistan.
25 confirmed kills in 8 minutes.
Like, wow, that was...
It's like the fucking
impressive.
private parts thing. Well, I threw a grenade in the orphanage, but that only counted as one kill because they were kids.
Bullshit.
25 Taliban members while serving in Afghanistan in 2012, breaking an unspoken code among service members never to discuss kills, much less in public.
So he killed 25 Afghanis, but he couldn't beat up his brother when they were horsing around. I'm sorry. The British media, you killed more brown people than anybody in the fucking room.
And even when I've heard some stories from people in the military, like sometimes they'll, you get drunk and they'll start telling you stories and shit. And they always use like a euphemism. Like I never hear them go like, "Oh, and then we killed blah blah blah," or we, killed blah blah blah. They
neutralized
like that, or like
so
my buddy told me a story one time about when they got ambushed, and it was like they were getting shot at on one side from a town and on the other side from caves, and he was just describing that they were pretty much pinned down on two sides. He's like, and the way he described it was, man, so we just started fucking dropping people. Like, he's like, we just lit that place up, man. Like, they'll say things like, we lit that place up, man. We were dropping people. But it's like, they don't like to go, killing. Like, we're like, bro, they started shooting at us. We started fucking dropping people before we got out of there. But
it is, and it's fucking gross. Like, he's at the same time wants us to believe that he's a poor, gentle flower that is experiencing racism, but also he just fucking straight up murdered 25 Hajis.
And further details of the allegations that his brother William physically attacked him in an argument over Meghan.
Diana always used to say to me
that she cheated a lot on Charles. She told me in private.
A lot with her tennis pro who looks suspiciously like Harry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can we get Frozen or somebody? Can we get a picture of that Harry's dad, that fucking tennis coach?
Yes, put it in locals.
Princess Di's tennis coach.
Yes.
Further details of the allegations that his brother William physically attacked him.
And also William, not Charles's kid either. Andre Agassi explains the hairline.
She's a tennis. She's a tennis whore.
She's a tennis slut.
That's so fucking.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? She's just a tennis
slut.
slut.
You know how the tennis balls come in one of those like Pringles looking things? She shoved it up her pussy and used to shoot the balls like she was a tennis. It's true.
I don't think that's.
And she played doubles.
Did you read the book?
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know. I have no idea if that's true.
Again, this is all coming from me mom's ghost.
In an argument over Meghan.
Diana always used to say to me that Harry was
The problem is the setup is too good not to have like 13 jokes. It's just too good. It's too good. This is them. They knew what they were doing. Come on.
Diana always used to say to me,
in the butt, it doesn't count as cheating. Okay. I have one more.
I have one. Okay, you go.
Okay, I'll go first. Hold on.
Diana always used to say to me,
I can't believe how much my Beanie Baby's going to be worth when I die. Okay. All right, who's next?
I'll do one right.
Okay,
Okay,
here we go. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go.
Physically attacked him in an argument over Meghan.
Diana always used to say to me,
auto mechanic, schmauto mechanic.
Okay. All right, you ready, Berkshire? Here we go.
Yeah.
Diana always used to say to me that
keep Prince Andrew the fuck away from Harry and William both. I don't want him alone in a room with them.
Diana always used to say to me,
if any of Okay, I got one. I got a couple now. Fuck, hold on.
Diana always used to say to me,
help, I'm on fire! Okay, last one. I have one more. You have one? Okay, you next, Prince. You next. Okay.
Diana always used to say to me,
you know, we beat the traffic if we take the tunnel.
Just fucking children.
Okay,
man.
yeah,
We're
have
such
one,
idiots.
Have one more.
Diana always used to say to me,
if any of my children date a tar baby, you intervene immediately and break up this family.
I have one more.
Okay, last one, but then we move on. Okay, this is getting stupid now. Okay, here we go.
Diana always used to say to me,
that Candle in the Wind song's fucking shite, innit?
In it, bruv. So wait a second. You turned Princess Diana to some cockney snatch person? Well, she was.
that Harry was the backup to William in the nicest possible way. She wanted Harry to be William's wingman.
Frozen Asian, if you scroll up enough, you could actually see the one where the guy's wearing the green shirt.
Yeah.
That's literally Prince Harry. Like, that's his fucking dad. Like, some of them are Prince Harry and the older version of the guy who's his dad now, but if you scroll up, you can see the age-appropriate picture of the tennis pro right next to Diana, and oh my God. That's Harry's dad.
As we've seen, he's hit now. It's a real conundrum for the royal family going forward.
So here's the part where we say no comment
Calm down.
from the palace. We have that 60 Minutes interview that comes out this weekend. The book officially comes out next week. And in an interview here, Prince Harry has refused to comment on whether he'll be attending his father's coronation in this.
Probably not. But also, I do think it's funny that at least this, I will say, out of all the coverage I've seen, the local news one was my favorite one, at least, because they were honest about like breaking the code of like at least being a little more honest about like it had a Ghost Rider, by the way.
Yeah.
If we didn't watch that and we just watched this Good Morning America thing, it would be all like, oh, he's such a great
Let's
guy.
suck his dick some more. Yeah.
My dad was. How ill-equipped anybody would be in that situation. And also the acceptance that, or the realization that he was undoubtedly awake since 1 a.m., since the moment that he was told of the crash. He waited until he woke me up in the morning. But for me, it was really important to be able to sketch that scene and share with people where my story really began.
Were you comforted in any way?
I don't think my family knew what to do. I don't think they knew what to do, and I can't.
Maybe he wasn't comforted because his father probably didn't know what to do. His wife just died. Like,
well, she wasn't his wife anymore, right? Weren't
well,
they separated?
I'm sorry. I apologize. The mother of his children just died, and he's put in a situation where he has to explain to them that your mother died. You know what I mean?
And who was mommy's friend in the car with her? Well,
say whether other families would have done a better job. I wish I had the ability or the opportunity to do some form of therapy, or at least be able to talk.
Therapy. Bro, what the fuck, man? I don't remember therapy being this. I mean, any time that I remember therapy being pushed when I was a kid was like if it was a really fucked up kid, right? Where it was like, look, this kid's got to talk to someone. He's going to fucking shoot up the school if he doesn't. But now it's just like, that's it, therapy. It's all therapy.
Sometimes they would send you to a therapist at school if like your grades were bad or you seemed like, you know, not necessarily a school shooter. Just seemed like if you were exhibiting like, all right, this kid's having some problems at home or something, you know what I mean? Then they'd be like, all right, they'd send you to like a therapist. It was mostly just a, hey, you doing all right? Everything okay? Like your home life all right? Jeez. But nowadays it's like, I got to go work on myself and really take stock of the things and shut up. Just drink and fucking
Just
push
do
it down.
fucking drugs and get a hooker and calm down.
Losing my mum and celebrating her life. But
well, I know a little thing about royalty because I was recently made king of the polar bears.
That's true. And the what's it, the puffins.
The puffins. King of the polar bears and the puffins.
And the mole people.
Also the mole people, that's
then
right.
I went to space and I'm negotiating with them too.
I'm also the secret king of the moon. Oh, can you edit that? I don't want George to get mad.
And then he just takes up the next 40 minutes of this interview. It's just
That
Michael
would be the
Strahan.
best. That would be the best. He just talks about his experience with polar bears.
Do you ever used to see me playing football when you were a kid? They got football over there.
The one with the feet, right? You play with the feet.
But who's to say that at age 12 whether I would have?
See, I could never play that because I would just naturally want to grab it with my hand. You know, you can't. It's how I was trained.
And said yes to that.
You talked about how for a while you, in your mind,
magical thing.
You said she's hiding.
Yeah.
There's no way this could have happened to my mom. She is hiding.
Do you really think she was hiding in that tunnel?
What if she just really was fucking that Saudi guy instead of being around her kids?
They're telling me to stop talking about this or they'll kill my family. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right here with this interview.
Yeah, I'm being told that if I get too out of line, it will not stop with my dad.
They said they're going to give me, what are they saying? That shot they gave to Mar Hamlin. I don't know what that means.
They're going to talk to me very quietly in my face the way McCarthy did to Matt Gaetz before he pussied out.
Strahan grabs his chest, falls over, and Skip Bayless walks in off camera, goes, "Who's in charge now, bucko?" And he just starts doing the interview. So, Harry, question. Should they have stopped that game?
I mean, come on,
20
man.
G's on
Yeah,
it.
I mean, Harry, come on. I know you're not a big football guy, but imagine this was England, right? And it was your World Cup or whatever you people do. Wouldn't you be mad?
Sitting there in a full suit wearing
bright red Jordans.
Year 3 Jordans, bright red, exactly.
Yeah, how do I think I feel? Because I lost a bunch of money on a game that got postponed, and I had to throw out all my Yeezys. I had about $15,000 worth of Yeezys I had to throw out.
I just bought a Balenciaga scarf, too. What am I going to do with that?
Bro, I'm telling you, the minute Kanye West started going DEFCON 3 on the Jews, the smartest person in the world would have went and checked dumpsters near Skip Bayless's house.
Yes.
Because you know he would go check his garbage cans the next day. Because you know he threw out a lot of nice sneakers in disgust.
All right, I think we're done with this.
Bye, Puffin.
By King of the Puffins. He's not a Puffin. He's their leader. Have some respect, man.